As we age, a quiet fear begins to creep into our minds. The fear of becoming frail, the fear of a fall, a fracture, a loss of independence. We see our elders stoop, we hear about broken hips, and we accept a story that has been told to us for generations, that brittle bones and osteoporosis are an inevitable part of growing old. But what if that story is wrong? What if maintaining strong, resilient bones well into your 80s, 90s, and beyond is not only possible, but achievable? My name is not important, but what I am is a doctor who has lived and practiced for over 80 years, and I am here to tell you that much of what you've been taught about bone health is dangerously incomplete. The common advice of just drink more milk has failed us. Today I am going to share with you a secret from the old world, backed by modern science. I am going to tell you about the only cheese I eat to strengthen my bones. And more importantly, I'm going to explain the powerful science of why it works. First, we must dismantle a great myth. The myth is that bone health is all about calcium. This has led to what we call the calcium paradox. People in Western countries consume more calcium from dairy and supplements than ever before. Yet we have some of the highest rates of osteoporosis in the world. How can this be? It's because calcium is only one part of a three-part puzzle. Think of it like building a brick wall. Pillar number 1 is calcium. These are the bricks. Calcium is the primary mineral that gives your bones their hardness and structure. Without it, you have nothing to build with. But having a pile of bricks on a construction site doesn't build a wall. You need a worker to carry the bricks from the pile into the wall. This worker is pillar number 2, vitamin D3. Vitamin D3 is the gatekeeper. It allows you to absorb calcium from your intestines into your bloodstream. If you don't have enough vitamin D, you can consume all the calcium you want, but most of it will pass right through your body, unused. This is why a lack of sun exposure is so dangerous for bone health. But here's the most crucial and most often ignored part of the puzzle. Once the calcium is in your bloodstream, where does it go? This is where the magic happens. We need a traffic cop to direct the calcium to the right places. This traffic cop is pillar number 3, vitamin K2. Vitamin K2 is one of the most important nutrients for longevity and healthy aging, and most people are deficient in it. Here is what it does. Vitamin K2 activates 2 critical proteins in your body. The first is called osteocalcin. When activated by K2, osteocalcin acts like a foreman on the construction site. It grabs calcium from the blood and deposits it directly onto your bone matrix, making your bones stronger and denser. The second protein is called matrix GLA protein, or MGP. When activated by K2, MGP does the opposite. It patrols your soft tissues like your arteries and kidneys. If it finds loose calcium trying to deposit in these soft tissues, it removes it. So, let me say this simply. Without enough vitamin K2, the calcium you eat doesn't get into your bones. Worse, it can be deposited in your arteries, leading to arterial calcification or hardening of the arteries. This is the cause of the calcium paradox. We are eating plenty of bricks, but we don't have the traffic cop to tell them where to go. This leads to weak bones and calcified arteries, the worst of both worlds. So, the ideal food for bone health wouldn't just be high in calcium. It would be a synergistic food rich in calcium, protein, and crucially, vitamin K2. Which brings me to my choice. The only cheese this 80-year-old doctor eats for his bones is true, authentic Parmigiano-Reggiano, not the cheap, pre-grated Parmesan powder in a plastic shaker, which is often full of fillers like wood pulp. I am talking about the real king of cheeses, imported from its protected region in Italy. Let's break down why this specific cheese is a masterpiece of nutritional engineering for bone health. First, it is a powerhouse of bioavailable calcium. Because it is a hard, aged cheese with very low water content, its nutrients are incredibly concentrated. A single 40-gram serving can provide almost half of your recommended daily intake of calcium. And because it's a fermented food, the calcium is in a form your body can easily absorb and use. Second, and most importantly, It is one of the richest food sources of vitamin K2. Vitamin K2 is not made by the cow. It's made by specific bacteria during the fermentation and aging process. The long, slow aging of Parmigiano-Reggiano, a minimum of 12 months, and often 24 or 36 months, allows these bacteria to produce a significant amount of vitamin K2. So, in every bite, you are getting both the bricks, calcium, and the traffic cop, K2, in the same package. This is nutritional synergy at its finest. Third, it is packed with high-quality protein. Remember, bones are not just inert minerals. Roughly 50% of your bone volume is a flexible protein matrix, mostly collagen. This protein matrix is what gives your bones resilience and the ability to bend slightly without breaking. Without enough protein, bones become brittle, like chalk. Parmigiano-Reggiano is about 38% protein, making it an excellent source to support this vital framework. Fourth, as a bonus for many, it is naturally lactose-free. During the long aging process, the bacteria consume all the lactose sugar from the milk. This means that even many people who are lactose intolerant can enjoy this cheese without digestive issues. So, how do you ensure you are getting the real thing? Look for the DOP seal, which stands for Denominazione di Origine Protetta. This guarantees it was made in the correct region of Italy under strict guidelines. The rind of the wheel will be pin-pricked with the name Parmigiano-Reggiano. And how should you eat it? You don't need to eat huge amounts. This is a nutrient-dense food, not a bulk food. A small chunk, about the size of your thumb, is a perfect daily snack, perhaps with a few walnuts or an apple. You can shave it over a salad. You can grate it fresh over steamed vegetables like asparagus or broccoli. The goal is to incorporate it as a regular, small part of your diet to consistently supply your body with this bone-building team of nutrients. Now, are there other good cheeses? Of course. The key principle is aged and fermented. Other hard-aged cheeses like Dutch Gouda and Swiss Emmental are also excellent sources of vitamin K2. Soft fermented cheeses like Brie and Camembert can also be good, especially when you eat the rind where many of the beneficial bacteria reside. In Brazil, you can look for high-quality, long-aged artisanal cheeses. A queijo canastra that has been properly cured for many months will develop some of these same beneficial properties. The key is the traditional aging process. But for its unique combination of extreme nutrient density, high K2 content, and digestibility, nothing quite matches true Parmigiano-Reggiano. Let's conclude with the most important lesson. Building and maintaining strong bones is not a passive process. It is an active one that requires the right building materials and the right instructions. Stop thinking only about calcium. Start thinking about the team: calcium, vitamin D3, and vitamin K2. You get D3 from sensible sun exposure, and you can get a powerful, synergistic dose of calcium and K2 from one of nature's most perfect foods. It is never too late to start giving your bones the support they truly need. You don't have to accept frailty as your destiny. You can choose to build a stronger, more resilient future, one delicious, nutrient-dense bite at a time.